From enjoying tasty pastries to watching the changing of the guard and exploring beautiful churches and castles, we had a wonderful time in Copenhagen. Here's part 2 of our series on visiting this lovely Scandinavian city in Denmark. Hi guys, welcome to our channel, Pinay Mom's Blogs. We had a 4-day holiday in Copenhagen and had a wonderful time sightseeing and learning a lot more about the history and the culture of this beautiful Scandinavian country. If you happen to miss our first episode of this series, click on this video on the description below. And now for this part 2 of our series, we'll show you the rest of our trip. And what best way to begin but to talk about the Danish pastries that we've had. Instead of having breakfast at the hotel, we decided to go to Andersen bakery next door. It's a popular Japanese-owned bakery that's also been winning awards. We just love their delicious Danish pastries, some even specially baked with Japanese-inspired ingredients, like the miso pastry that surprisingly was very good when I tried it.
Now I get why this bakery won an award. It's so good.
You like it? I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna try it now. Good. Okay, now I'm gonna try this one.
Oh, this is so good.
It has caramel, I didn't even know. Really good, really good.
I didn't like it so bad.
Good. And then next, we visited Frederik's church. It's famously known as the Marble Church. Its dome, which is one of the largest in Europe, spans over 31 meters in diameter and was inspired by, can you guess which church in Rome? You guessed it, it's St. Peter's Basilica. The church took over 150 years to complete and finally opening to the public in the 1800s, I think 1894. And speaking of opening, do know po that this marble church is open to public only until 5 p.m. This was something that we didn't realize when we were there for the second time to go visit and to go see inside the church. We hung out at first in a nearby 7-Eleven. And we completely forgot that it closes at 5 o'clock. So we were there at 5:03 and the church was already closed, which is yummer. Nasaraduhan po kami. So if you want to see the inside of this marble church, please don't forget and keep in mind that the church closes at 5 p.m. In any case, we admired the beauty of this big and beautiful marble church in the morning on our way to Amalienborg Palace, to which the exchange of guards usually happens every day at noon. Okay, we're on our way to see the exchange of soldiers.
Look at that. That's a royal cross.
We are now on our way to Amalienborg to see the exchange of soldiers, and they do it every 12 noon, I think, so we're going to try to see that. And it's a Wednesday, so hopefully it's not that busy. Amalienborg Palace is unique because it consists of 4 identical buildings, and each serves for a different purpose or a different function. And watching the guard exchange at noon is a treat, actually, especially for our kids, even though it really tested our patience, especially because the process took quite a while. It was around 45 minutes, although we heard that it can be shorter than that. It just so happened that at the time of our filming, the prince was apparently there on an official event, giving us an unexpected glimpse into the royal life. We are asked to move a little bit farther back because probably it's going to be the exchange of soldiers very soon. And of course they need a space for the soldiers to have more room. right, so we just finished watching, well actually we are not finished yet with watching the exchange of guards, but I guess it takes a while because they go from one station to the next, because there are different guards at different stations here in Amalienborg. So my kids are waiting on Papa. My husband is actually busy waiting on the actual conclusion of the exchange of guards over there. My husband actually filmed the whole event, so if you're up for something more on Amalienborg exchange of guards, then click on this video on the description box below. Our lunchtime that day was at a nearby 7-Eleven. And then, in the afternoon, we headed to Rosenborg Castle since it's not quite far, and we walked towards the direction of the King's Garden. Did you know that the King's Garden is the oldest royal garden in Denmark, all the way from the early 17th century, as a private retreat for King Christian IV? It's lovely to see that the garden is now being enjoyed by everyone. It's a public park used by tourists and locals alike for leisure activities like walking, jogging, and sunbathing. And you can also see some people on a picnic and kids that run around freely. And not too far in the center, you will find a statue of Hans Christian Andersen, Denmark's most famous fairy tale author.
It's running down his head.
And then there's the Rosenborg Castle. It's like stepping into a fairy tale. This Renaissance castle is not just beautiful, but it's also a treasure trove, where the Danish crown jewels and other royal items, amongst other things, are well kept and heavily guarded, of course. We got the chance to explore this castle with an inside tour and got the chance to see their most precious collections. However, I didn't really get the chance to film inside the castle. But visiting Rosenborg with the inside tour is definitely a must if you're visiting Copenhagen. By the way, did you guys know that Copenhagen, together with Amsterdam, are considered the most bike-friendly cities in the world? I was surprised. I was actually very surprised about how efficient the cycling culture is here. And so I've created a video comparing both cities when it comes to cycling. You can have a look at this video on our description box below. So we wrapped up our day 2 with an evening visit to Tivoli Gardens. This iconic amusement park opened in 1843, and it is the second oldest operating amusement park in the world. Tivoli has inspired many, including Walt Disney, and you can tell that with its enchanting atmosphere and beautiful gardens, it's easy to see why. We actually have a separate video coming soon that's all about Tivoli Gardens, and 2 more separate videos about our visits to Den Blå Planet, the National Aquarium of Denmark, and to Experimentarium, Denmark's Science Center, which is almost similar to Nemo Science Museum here in Amsterdam. And so hope you liked this video of our visit here in Copenhagen, our series. We hope that you enjoyed our videos, and we'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now.